welcome to Exploring with Edna, episode 24. So I've been fighting an issue, I have to admit. I've been leaking brake fluid quite a bit. Not enough to worry about, but before every single adventure I've had to top it off so I got no brake light. So let me show you what I found. So inside the engine bay here, there's obviously not too much to the system. There's the brake booster, I believe it's referred to, behind here. This box right here. And then you got the master brake cylinder. There's not too much to this thing, but it is fairly inexpensive to rebuild. With that being said, it might be a little hard to see in the camera, but right down here, yep, there we are. You can see all this paint is coming off. We've been leaking outside this master brake cylinder, and I can't tell you if this was ever replaced. All the way down the fender, and then even on the other side. You could get in there. Hopefully it's light enough here. You guys could see the paint's flaking off. So when we go to paint this rig, we're going to have to touch it up, but mainly to fix the leaking brake issue. If you could focus back here real fast, as you can see, the vehicle's been sitting about a month, and we haven't leaked too much. It's just below the maximum line, but it's still of concern. So let's take a lead on this project here. The main booster is behaving itself just fine. There's no sluggish brakes. We're just leaking that little bit amount of fluid, and I really don't want to have to keep painting things. So let's get to work and replace this brake booster. Alright guys, I'm being very silly. I said brake booster. The master brake cylinder. That is what I meant. Let's get to work. Today I did have some help from a friend. His name is Evan. And he taught me how to do the main steps here today, starting with the removal of the old master brake cylinder. We put some rags down, of course, to keep any brake fluid of the old stuff spilling as much as we could. Came out pretty easy. We were able to use penetrating oil to assist with loosening all the connections, and we had no breakage, which is good. In preparation for the new master brake cylinder, we did bench bleed it. I believe that's the term. We filled the reservoir up as much as we could and got rid of all the air bubbles we could. And I did clean the area where all the brake fluid was spilled and put a little bit of grease in there for the mechanical contact point to help reduce any noise issues or something. So I hope that was a benefit. So here we go, installation. The next clip here is a little lengthy, just to warn you, but this was our brake bleeding process. I've been meaning to replace all my brake fluid anyways here due to, I don't know how old it is, because we have no records of the car. So as you can see, we're getting a lot of air bubbles coming out. Also, the color of the fluid changes from what looks like iced tea to a nice clear new brake fluid eventually in the end. So when you guys are bleeding where brakes, and just make sure that you get nice clear fluid in the end, and that way you know there's new fluid all the way through the line. We did the fronts as well on this Dodge Raider. The rear drums share the same bleeder. That's the best information I could find. The line actually goes into the driver's side and then heads to the passenger side, and there's only one bleeder on the passenger side that we took note of. Alright everybody, so we got ourselves a new master brake cylinder. We bled the system. It looks too clean, that's all I could say. We got all the air bubbles out. You saw in the previous videos I'll attach. And we're not leaking anywhere, it's looking good. And now we could do that touch-up paint here, where it's all icky and flaky down there when we go to paint the thing. But the brakes are probably about 20-ish% more responsive, I would guess, and that's a good thing. Always want good working brakes. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next episode. Here's our good old master brake cylinder, looking mighty dirty. The view from the inside where you could see the leak was happening, just, I don't know how old it is. And of course, the nice shiny new one. Y'all have a good day and good afternoon wherever you're at.